you've had like plenty of time to think. Did you find that you had more things than you thought you would have had, or less?
With the things people do, I read out the ones that didn't make the top 3
Yeah,
on my
yeah.
this afternoon.
I think they just like it's sort of general. Well, there should be everyone's general, but I think for some it's more extreme than the other. Do you know what I mean? Like, anyway, we are live. So, hello everyone, and welcome. My name is Lainey. This is Big Girls Really Do Cry, and this is the Banish bin. And over here, our special guest is Karin. So, welcome, Karin.
Hello.
I have linked Karin's channel below. If you're not subscribed, but I'm sure you all already are. So, yes. If you're new and you haven't seen the Banish bin before, and you do know what Room 101 is like, it is a bit similar to that, but of course it's way better. It's just like, basically, I've give Karin 8 categories. She's had to pick 3 things from each category of things that she wished she were banished forever. So it's kind of just basically things that annoy you, but it's all just for fun. You know, we're not serious. That's why we send people loads of gifts and stuff afterwards when we know what bugs them. That's what tends to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, how are you anyway?
I'm good. I've done my 10,000 steps I was just telling you for the day, so I'm pleased that's over with and I can relax now.
I don't know if anyone can put your link in for that. Someone.
I don't know. Ashley was doing it for me on Sunday. I don't know if she's in.
If anyone is in the chat and can put a link into Karin's charity, what's the exact thing? It's like it's for cancer research, so it's
it's called Walk All Over Cancer, and it's for cancer research. Right. I've got to do 10,000 steps every day in March.
Yeah, which, given some of the things that you some of the issues that you have, is a real struggle. So a massive props to you for it. You know what I mean?
Like, I normally do about 5,000 a day, so it's double the amount.
Literally double. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lexa said she'll get it. So.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you.
If anyone, when Lex puts the link in, if anyone can donate, that would be fantastic.
Yes, it would. Thank you very much.
Every pound helps, you know what I mean. But if you can put a few thousand in, that's good too. Okay, so I'll say a few hellos while Lex does that. We'll see who's here. And hi, Emily. I don't think I've seen you in here before, so hello and welcome. Hi, Kay. Hi, Laura. Hi, Mark. Hi, Lex. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Nia. Hi, Niall. Hi, Ian. Once everyone's saying hello to each other, you're kind of like, have I missed someone? Hi, Julie. Hi, Susan. Hi, Queenie. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Cassie. Right. Oh, Susan's put it in.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Ashley. So yeah, that's the link there that for Karin's charity Walk All Over Cancer. So if you can donate, please do. Ashley said she's looking forward to finding out what's going in the bin tonight, as am I. Hi, Gloria. Right, we're at the bottom. So we'll get started. I just quickly wrote these down 2 seconds before, because I like to keep a list next to us of what's next, so I can sort of, obviously. But hi, Stu. Evening binners. Is that what we are now? Although this would be the sin bin, wouldn't it, Karin?
I keep calling it the sin bin.
Yeah, but can you imagine if you had to come on and like tell us all your sins? Like, that wouldn't be good. I mean, Lex would still be telling us hers now from like when she was on. Anyway, Okay, hi Sharon. Right, let's start. So, films.
So the first one is a franchise of films, and I'm afraid it's Nightmare on Elm Street.
Right.
There's a reason for that. I'm trying to think how old I was. I must have been about 9 or 10, and I went to a friend's sleepover, and she had older sisters, and one of the older sisters made us watch this film, and I had nightmares for a month afterwards. I was waking up screaming, and so much so my dad got so annoyed he actually went round to the house of the and spoke to the parents and said, you need to stop your children letting younger children watch horror films. Because I wouldn't have the light off. I'm still not great with the dark. I wouldn't have the light off. And don't sing that song, please.
Yeah.
My sister used to do that to taunt me. And I didn't realise, well, I don't like horror films anyway, but Jeepers Creepers comes a close second, but because Freddy Krueger is the original.
Yeah. I had a similar thing happen when I was, I think I was 11 or 12. And it was my auntie that allowed, because she was a lot more laid back than my mum, you know what I mean? So she allowed her children to watch it, and so then I watched it as well. And at the time I thought, oh, it's cool this, because like I wouldn't be allowed at home, you know what I mean, kind of thing. But no, give me frighten me for don't. Yeah. I'm scared. Probably why I'm scared of all horrors.
I dream a lot anyway. I have very vivid dreams, so it just made them worse.
Do you find that if you watch something like that, then it transpires in your own dreams, but of people that you love and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's same. Yeah, it would do that to me. Hi Antoinette. Hi Lee. Right. I can't argue that one, because I'm with you on that. I really don't like Freddy Krueger. I get people. I don't understand people who like horror. It's just weird, but there you go. All right then. So what's your second choice?
Okay, the next one is is a franchise of films again. What's another word? I can't think of the word. Like a set of films. It's the Airplane movies.
A trilogy or something, or it depends how many it is. If there's three, it's a trilogy, isn't it?
Yeah, but the next one is the Airplane films, because they seemed to be on TV a lot when I was a kid, and I used to just think that it was really sexist, and I never found it funny. And I've got a thing about Leslie Nielsen. I just always thought he was creepy. I don't know why. Mm-hmm. So I didn't like the Naked Gun films either, but the first films I remember is the Airplane films.
Yeah, I quite like them. Like I mean, I probably wouldn't really laugh so much now, I guess, but you know what I mean? Like when I was young, but like my dad really loved that sort of stuff, and so I suppose we just watch them. The chat's going, don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
Shirley. Yeah. But I wouldn't. I'm not offended by them, I suppose. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of like sexism and stuff like that. It was of its time, I guess. You know what I mean? Like,
I did find this really difficult, because I am a big film fan, and me and Darren watch a lot of different films, so I did find it quite difficult coming up with three.
Right. Okay. And your third one?
The third one is any live action films with talking animals. 2 reasons for this. Okay, I love animals, but they just freak me out when their mouths move and they talk. If they were just talking and the mouths weren't moving, that would be okay. But it's the fact that they make their mouths move weirdly. It freaks me out.
If they were talking and the mouth didn't move, that would be okay.
Like it was in their head. Like you're just listening to in their head, the internal dialogue, I'd be all right with that. But it's when they make their mouths move to make it look like they're talking, it freaks me out. And the second reason is it freaks Monty out and he goes crazy at the telly. So there's two reasons.
So live. Wait a minute, I'm trying to.
Featuring talking animals.
Talking animals.
Yeah.
So we're talking like, I'm trying to think of films that represent that.
Homeward Bound.
Yeah, or
the Cats one.
That's the one I was thinking of. Yeah.
Cats and dogs. Yeah, I just and they're usually pretty rubbish as well.
Lex says, just talking in films, yeah, so talking in real life animals is okay. Yeah, I don't mind it, to be honest. It doesn't, I've never really thought it looked odd or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, this is going to be a choice now, because I'm definitely not saving Freddie. I mean, you know, there's no way. So it's either, do I save the Airplane series of films, or do I save talking animals in films?
Yeah. I'm not saying animated, because that's different, and I like animals in animated films.
So even like the live action version of Lion King and
I haven't watched that. Do their mouths move like they're talking?
Yeah.
Oh, right, no, I haven't watched that.
But
because of Monty, we don't watch anything really with animals in anymore because of Monty.
Because Monty was like, no.
I know, I've got to sort it out. Lots of people have told me that there's an episode of that dog's behaving badly with the dog biting the television, and I need to watch that. But I can't watch that program unless Darren's out with Monty, because Monty goes mad at the other dogs on it. So.
My sister's just getting a puppy. He looks a bit like Monty, I think. He's although he's a Bedlington Whippet, but he's going through the whole, you know, chewing everything stage, biting, chewing, picking everything off the floor. A cigarette butt, oh, I'll have that. And this, and she's like,
oh no.
Yeah, it's fun when the puppies. Hi Nick, hi Kath, hi Rich, if I didn't say it. All right, so live talking animals or airplane? I think there's one part of the talking animals bit that I agree, is that they lose the emotion. So when it's monologue in their head and the dog looks sad, I still feel the emotion, but when the dog's talking, I don't.
It's like it's not a dog anymore. It's weird.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to save Airplane, right, and then I'm going to put Nightmare on Elm Street and live action talking animals, not animated. So people of the chat, if you want to banish Nightmare on Elm Street, type Nightmare, and if you want to banish live talking animals, type Tarkin. In films, that is. Tarkin. Everyone just picks me up on my language, you know. It's just every word I see. I didn't realize as well the other week until they were picking us up on deer in deers.
Yeah.
Like if I say deers in deers, they were like, it's the same. I'm like, it's not. It's deer in deers in deers.
It's because we would say A's and you're saying ears.
Aye.
Like if you've just got like no accent or a generic accent, you would say days, but you're saying deers.
Deers.
But there's nothing wrong with that. That's your
regional accent. I'm not thingy by it. I think it's funny. Because I don't hear the difference to me. It wasn't until like people started saying things, I thought, actually, that does sound the same. Like if you're not from here, it's like I always laugh because you know Channel 9. Well, we've got sidekick stew, but it sounds like psychic stew because of our accent.
Yeah.
No one will say it, but if I say it slower, if I just say sidekick stew, it sounds like sidekick stew. Sidekick stew. Yeah, I get there eventually. Anyway, let's move on. See what the people want to do. Right, talking animals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, 8 for talking animals. Let's have a look. I scrolled up way too much there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nightmare on Elm Street by 1.
Yay! I'm pleased about
that. Hello everyone who's just come in. I think I saw Jewel and Joe and anyone else. All right, so Freddie's not coming after us anymore. We'll see. The next one is places.
Okay, I had this. As you know, Lainey, I wrote this list quite some time ago, and then I added to it when you gave me a couple of different categories. Was it last week sometime? So it's way before Nick and Andrea's chat on Sunday night when they mentioned Ipswich. Ipswich is my number one place on my thing. So I come from a little seaside town called Felixstowe. Nobody, when you tell people where you're from, most people say, don't know where that is. Is it in Kent somewhere? So I always have to say, have you heard of Ipswich? And they always go, yeah, because of the football. Men usually, but you know, most people know Ipswich. And then I say, well, it's 10 miles down the road from there. So I always have to mention Ipswich. And Ipswich is not a place to be proud of because it is a dive. It really is. I can't think of anything nice about Ipswich. And if you remember the Suffolk Strangler a few years back, he picked up all his women next to Ipswich Town Football Club, because that's next to Ipswich Town Football Club is the road where all the prostitutes are, and that's where he used to pick them up before he killed them. And it's just not a nice place. I went to college in Ipswich and I got lost a couple of times, and it's just not a nice place at all. If you think of Suffolk, Ipswich is not the crown jewel in Suffolk. It actually tarnishes Suffolk because Suffolk's a lovely place. So,
right. So Ipswich.
Yeah.
I don't really. I've never been, so I have no clue. It's not somewhere. It wouldn't be my first on my list sort of place. Oh, where shall I go? I'll go to Ipswich if I'm thinking of a place. I don't think anyone would.
It's not a destination.
No, it's not a destination. No. I mean, to be fair, Sunderland's not either, but that, you know, at least we have a beach. I don't know if Ipswich does, you know. I'm just could do for all I know. I've not got a clue.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
But yeah. I'm kind of like, because I don't, you know what I mean. It's not something that I've got any reference to. So, but yeah, okay. So your second place.
Well, can I just say, Kath Eames says that her cousin went to Felixstowe Ladies College. I spent a lot of time there as a kid because my mum was a cleaner there. So in the summer holidays or any half-term holidays, we used to have to go with her and sit quietly and be good in the dorms and everything while my mum was cleaning. So
yeah,
I know it well. Number 2 is, and this is going to sound really random, but House of Fraser, the department store.
Right.
There's a reason for that.
Which is?
I find that a lot of people that work in there are very stuck up.
I thought that, you know, as soon as you said it.
Yeah. And when me and Darren first got married, we had quite a bit of money from our wedding, and we were doing up our flat, and we used to if Darren was off at a weekend, we'd go to the Metro Centre and, you know, look in shops and buy homewares and stuff. And we were looking around House of Fraser, and there was a couple women behind a counter. They were looking at us and giggling, and one of them says, "I'm surprised they could afford anything," or something like that. I got really, really mad. And basically I said, "Darren, we're leaving." And I've never set foot in a House of Fraser ever again, because how do you know how much money I've got, for starters?
It's got nothing to do with it. Just
how can you make a judgment? I think it was something to do with Darren used to wear baseball caps all the time, and I don't know if they just looked at Darren.
Yeah. But even still, like, that's just rude, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, make a judgment in that way.
Yeah. So I vowed to myself that day never to spend any money in there again, because you're not to know how much money I've got.
Didn't House of Fraser used to be bins? It was spelled BINNS, wasn't it?
Darren would know. I don't know.
I'm sure it was.
Not since I've been here. So it must have been more than 18 years ago.
Because we used to have one where, like, Wilkinson's is now in our town. I'm sure it was called Bins. But I don't know.
Big mistake. Huge.
There's still a Bins in Darlington.
Oh, I've never been to one of them.
Maybe it isn't then. All right. In early 1953, House of Fraser made an approach to purchase bins, which initially met with, maybe they bought it out, and that's why I'm associating it then. But yeah, I agree. Like, I think I've went in there once, put it in the Banish bins. Yes, I will. Thank you. And hello, by the way. Yeah, that's why. Thanks, Susan. That's why I must have made the connection. It was always just, there was never seemed to be anyone there apart from the one odd older lady and the staff, and it was never very appealing to go in for me. Like, you know what I mean? Not. And
I'd use the saying which I use, hoity-toity, which is hoity-toity, which means they think they're better than they are. And I was just so annoyed that I've just never gone back again, basically.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And the last one?
The last one is the dental hospital. Now, I look after my teeth. And I'd never been to a dental hospital ever, because I wouldn't let it get that far. But my dentist wouldn't take out. I had a wisdom tooth at the back that was getting really painful, and he said he didn't want to take it out because it was attached to my jaw. So he referred me to the dental hospital, and I think I saw a junior. I don't know what you call them. I don't know if they're called dentists or what.
Orthodontist.
Orthodontist, yeah. And Darren came in with me, and I got like just numbed, because we were talking about sedation or just being numbed. And I said I prefer just to be numbed rather than sedated, because we want to go have a look round town afterwards, because it's in the city centre of Newcastle. And he said, yeah, that'd be fine. We'll do that then. Basically, this young man ended up with his knee on my chest because he couldn't get the tooth out. And I sort of got through it because I just wanted it out, and I didn't want to say, because he kept saying, say if it hurts too much, but I just got through it. And basically, the next day I woke up and my face was out here. And I suffered for about a week. I couldn't eat. Just had to drink milkshake and drink Weetabix and soup. And it was just,
obviously him putting his knee on your chest is out of order, you know what I mean? He should have looked into some other way of doing that, but maybe part of that was because of it being in your jaw, you know what I mean? Obviously if you go in and you see someone quite young and you're thinking, well, you're sending his ear, because it's specialised, you would expect to have someone with more experience.
Mm.
Do you know
I
what I
think
mean?
I ended up with an infection as well, and I had to keep going back, and then I ended up seeing like the senior, like dental surgeon. After
Yeah.
that, I got referred to him, and he did apologise.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it was just a pretty traumatic experience, and Darren was like, I don't know how you got through that, and I was like, I don't know how I got through that.
Queenie's saying a knee on the chest is standard procedure for getting the wisdom teeth out. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so looking at them, I'm going to probably save the dental hospital because the dental hospital fixed my teeth. Which, to be fair, are fake. They're hiding it.
Are they?
But yeah, these ones, I've got 2 left of mine in the top.
You can't tell.
I know they're good, aren't they?
Yeah, they're good.
And I had like a bridge from when I was a kid. I'd had it for like 23 years, and it was broke and it was loose, and so I had to go through the dental hospital, and they took out the teeth that I had remaining underneath, that the little pegs that they leave to put your bridge on.
This went on for about 45 minutes, by the way. It wasn't just a quick.
I
can't get it out. It was quite long.
I had 4 different procedures. I also got an infection in me thing, and it's horrible, but I think if it happens and it's needed, then, and as it was needed for me, because he said you can wait and see if it'll probably come out of its own accord, but when it does, you're going to have nothing to put in your mouth or anything.
Yeah.
And he said, whereas we can prepare for all of that. So I went with that, and it took I think it was between the July and the September, and I had about 4 different appointments of taking teeth out, and I remember coming in, I took a photo, actually, I don't know how it is, but I took a photo and remember like that in the photo. So I couldn't smile or anything, so I was that numb. My face was that numb and stuff.
There was a picture of me with my face out here, but it was in my old phone, and it was at the days when you couldn't just transfer it over, so I lost it. So because it was it was about 13 years ago.
Where did you go? Were you up this way?
City Centre.
Yeah, I went to Shields for mine. And it was a day trip out at the time because I didn't have my room. Because I didn't leave my room at the time, because so it ended up being literally a day trip for me. Anyway, so as I said, I'm going to save the dental hospital, which means people in the chat, you can either choose to banish Ipswich, so Ipswich, and I guess that means everyone in it, or just the place. Can the people move?
It wouldn't bother me about the country. There's some scuzzy people.
Or House of Fraser. So type either Ipswich or Fraser in the chat to whichever you wish to banish. I always go to Turkey for my dental work. They're really good at their job. Hi, highlighted. And it's cheaper, yeah, I can imagine. But then you pay for a holiday. Is it still cheaper? Hi, Mike, if I didn't say hello. All right, let's have a look. Fraser. I can see a lot more Frasers than Ipswiches, so House of Fraser. Goodbye.
Yay.
So, yeah, we don't need snobby people, do we?
No.
Right. Okay, next one is things people say.
Okay. My sister does this, and it is such a bugbear. I correct her every time, but she forgets every time. It's when people say jalapenos instead of jalapenos.
I do that.
It drives me crackers. It's a silent J.
I do it accidentally, and I don't mean to. It's just that there's this part of us that just has to read it like I read it. Like I need to say it this way. It's like Salisbury. I want to say Salisbury and stuff, even though I know it's wrong. Like the place, like when I need to. So yeah.
It just drives me crackers.
But yeah, I really struggle. Crackers, cheese, and jalapenos. Yes, Sylvia. My hospital dentist knelt on my shoulder, and I still get pain to this day. Yeah, but they weren't performing on your teeth. That's different. Doesn't count.
You need to ask Darren, Lex. I don't know. I think half the time he doesn't listen to me, because the amount of times I tell him stuff and he hasn't. He pretends he hears me and he hasn't. He just switches off.
Yeah. Ours is a weird language. It is, Rebecca. It is. Okay. So what's your next one?
People who say my name wrong when I've just told them it. Fair enough if you're reading it. My name looks like, a lot of people call me Karin. Yeah. They see the I and they go, oh, it must be like Karin. I'll just call her Karin. Fair enough. Okay. Really, my name should be spelled Karin. Then people might get it right. But it's when people say, what's your name, please? I say Karin Fisher. And then they go, this way, Karin. My name's not Karin. It's Karin. So I end up all my life I've said, it's like car insurance without the insurance. And then it kind of sticks in people's head. But not always. Yeah. That's just really relevant to me. But I suppose anyone who's got a name that gets pronounced wrong.
I would say they'd feel the same way. I think because I was Elaine, you know what I mean? I know I use Laney. When I was a kid, someone didn't know how to write my card out. So they sent me a birthday card and they called me Happy Birthday, Alien. So, Happy Birthday, Alien. I was like crying for a week. I was about 8. I was like, I think I'm an alien. And just like my mum or whoever, she was just like, they just don't know how to spell your name. I really would have asked your mum, surely, but you know.
But it just really irritates me when people can't be bothered to listen and hear how I say my name and try and copy it, and they just don't bother.
My father-in-law is Jerry, as in a piss pot, but like Jerry can. Is it Jerry can? Jerry. Was that what you put petrol in? I don't know. Wow, different.
Please don't call me Karen. Please don't call me Karen. I hate it.
No, but I think sometimes it's like when you tell someone and they still repeatedly do it, you kind of think, are you just taking the piss? Because that's how it feels, you know what I mean? Right, okay.
And the last one is people who misuse the word sort of or use it too much. So someone's talking to you and every other word is sort of this and sort of that and kind of this and kind of that.
Right.
Just don't say it. So I sort of went to the shop. You either did or you didn't. You can't sort of go somewhere.
Yeah. That's true. You can't sort of go either. Well, I suppose you could. What if you were on your way there and then you came back? Did you sort of go? Well, no, because you still didn't go, did you? You went halfway there. I don't know. How does that work then?
Why use kind of or sort of loads of times in a sentence when you don't need to? You just don't need to. It's just because you're trying to make it sound like you're saying more than you actually are saying.
Yeah.
It just really irritates me.
Sort of.
Can I just say I'm in my element right now? I blooming love moaning.
Okay. Do you sort of love it, or do you really love it though?
I blooming love it.
All right. Well, do you know what? I'm gonna have to save the jalapenos in the way of saying it because I do it. And
Lainey.
I know, but I can't help it. It's like, and I'm sticking up for your sister in case she can't help it either. And
I know. I think she just does it because she knows it irritates me.
Yeah. No, I really struggle with it. I'll do it, especially if I'm not thinking about things. I'll just automatically do it, and then it's like, you know what I mean. But yeah, Stu sort of likes Ipswich.
The only time kind of is acceptable or sort of is when it's a kind of something or a sort of something. But actually using kind of or sort of in the sentence wrongly, it just no.
Right. Okay. So as I've saved jalapenos.
Right.
Jalapenos. People of the chat, do you want to banish people who say sort of when they don't need to, or people who mispronounce your name even when they've been told? So if you want to say sort of, write sort, and if you want to say if you want to banish sort of, write sort, and if you want to banish mispronounced names, write names. You mean incorrectly, Karen, not wrongly.
Sorry. My grammar is normally good.
Mine's not.
Usually.
So, usually
good.
Americans call you Ion. Ion.
I've never heard of Ian.
Never heard of Ian.
I've never heard of someone called Ian actually in an American TV show. That's a good point.
Right, names. Yeah, I think names have got it. Names.
From now on, nobody call me Karin.
Yes, you can only say Karin, or that's it. Right. Okay, what we've got next? Food, isn't it?
Okay. First one is food that looks like something else. So we went to a very posh wedding once, and I picked up what I thought was a Scotch egg. Turned out it wasn't a Scotch egg. It was some kind of fish ball thing. I bit into it, and then I was like, what am I going to do? It's a really posh wedding. I mean, Darren and my friend were just wetting themselves at my face, apparently, because it was a picture. And I think I had to turn around and go behind Darren's back and spit it out into a tissue. But it was just so embarrassing.
I've never seen like a Scotch egg that looks like a fish. I mean, you know that we'll get like fish bites up here, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
But like balls like fish, like Scotch eggs that look like fish, is just that have fish.
I think it was a smoked salmon something, I don't know. But it looked like a Scotch egg, and you know, if you're going to make food look like other food, please put a sign there to say what it is.
Yeah.
So people like me don't bite into a fishbowl.
But yet, do fish have balls? I'm sure they do. Scotch fish.
It was ew.
All right. I'm trying to think of other foods that look like that I've come across where people have, and I can't think of anything.
I've done it before. I have done it before. I'm trying to think of something now. You have those illusion cakes that look like food, different foods, and then it ends up being
yeah,
cake.
like
that's not so bad because you're biting into a cake.
You're told that it's a cake in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like my daughter made one of them.
There you go. There's one. I've done that. Calamari that looks like an onion ring. So calamari, breadcrumbed. Yes, I've done that before as well.
Yeah. But what Bad Wolf says about cakes that look like burgers, my daughter did that. So she made like a cake, and then, well, actually, she used a donut as the bun, and then Nutella and something for the burger, and then strawberry and kiwi for the salad. It was really nice. Like, I have to say, it was really nice.
I just think it's when your brain expects something and then you bite into it and it's not what you think. It's just not good.
I like crab sticks though, Sharon. I like them. Roast parsnips that look like roast potatoes are such a big disappointment. Yeah,
I've done that before, but I'm okay with parsnips.
Human flesh that looks like beef. Let's hate it when they do that. All right, yeah. You'll have to stop going to that restaurant. Anyway. What's your next thing?
Kidneys. Who on this earth decided that we should eat kidneys?
Not the ones in your own bodies.
No. They go and ruin perfectly good pies putting kidney in them.
And it's good for you though, isn't it?
As a child, if we ever had steak and kidney pie, my dad would just call it steak pie and think that we wouldn't notice that there was kidneys in it. And it just tastes disgusting. And yuck.
I remember trying kidney beans and when it was a bit no. It depends. Like sometimes you can get it and it's not very nice at all. Like sometimes it doesn't bother me so much, but yeah.
My dad's a big offal fan, so as a child he often took it and he liked faggots and all of that, and it just used to gross me out, and the smell and yuck.
It's the same with liver. We used to get like my mum used to do like liver and onions and all that, you know what I mean? So it was quite often. But yeah.
Offal is awful, yes.
Offal is awful.
Kidneys are the worst.
Right. Okay. And what's next?
Okay, the last one is a big thing, and I've just lumped it all together, right?
Okay.
Buffets at birthday parties / christenings / retirements / wedding anniversary. You know, the really cheap rubbish buffet, and you don't know what half of it is, and I'm always hungry when we get home and we end up having to have a takeaway or a bowl of cereal or something because there's never anything on it that I like, and the sandwich fillings are always strange, and I end up with like and you don't know what flavour the crisps are. I'm quite fussy, so I end up with like a sausage roll, like half a boiled egg, half hard-boiled egg, and like some peanuts on a plate. Because I don't know what half of it is, and I don't want to risk it because of my other thing where you don't know what it is. Because I need to know what I'm eating.
I love a buffet, or like a family tea party, or like, you know, a kids like I love a buffet. A buffet. It's like just, you know. No, it's buffet. Is it buffet? Am I saying it wrong? Do I say buffet?
No, I'd say buffet. I mean, my sister-in-law, she's an excellent buffet creator because she does many a family party, and she done our wedding. She done the lunchtime meal at our wedding. It was delicious. She's a really good buffet person, but buffet creator. But the cheap ones that you get when you hire a hall and they say like £3 a head, just dire.
It reminds me of my childhood, that like things on sticks, little hot dogs and all that. and
Yeah.
pickled onions and bread buns cut in half with a bit of egg mayonnaise on or something, and then
I am a bit of a germaphobe as well, and you're
yeah.
not straight up there first, and then you watch people and people pick stuff up and put stuff down, and it just
Oh yeah.
I'm just
I love it. John just mentioned vol au vent. I love a vol au vent. Like, my mum used to do she used to do 3 different ones. She used to do a curry one, so like a chicken curry, I should say, and she used to do like an egg mayonnaise type thing, and then a prawn seafoody one, back in the day. Yeah. Hi Neil. Just to
I do sound a bit stuck up, I know.
nah. Just to say, Neil is on next week's show, but it will be at 9:30 and not 7:30. So he's doing the Banish bin next. And I think it's Queenie after that. I'll have to check my list. All right. So let's have a think. I've got to save Buffy's. I've got to save it. I'm sorry.
Right. Okay.
It's my. I love it. In fact, I would still do it now, just in my own room. Just I'll have a little plate of that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Have my own one. But I also like them wherever. So yeah. So yeah, I'm going to save the Buffy's. So therefore, people of the chat, would you prefer to banish kidney, as in the food, what you eat, so the offal, as in a steak and kidney pie, or would you prefer to banish food that looks like something else? So type either kidney or something. Balls.
Fish balls.
By Karin's request, type balls. Either balls,
fish balls.
Fish balls. Sorry, has to be fish balls. Yeah, I love a picky tea. My brother's weird though, because he still eats backwards. So he'll eat he's sweet first and work back. And I'm like, you're weird. That's not normal. Yeah, you've got to have your savoury first, but no.
We always have a buffet tea New Year's Eve. I do all the stuff. It's fine when I know what it is. It's just you don't know what it is.
It's when you go to someone else's. Yeah. If it's, I mean, I can understand. If I went to the table and I looked I wouldn't, you know what I mean. But if it was family related, and I know they're all, as bad as me, then it's fine.
I mean, you know this if you go to Slimming World, but they do a taster night where you take something you've made for everyone else to try. And I always used to write a little sign on what it was. Yeah. It's my bugbear that I don't know what stuff is when people just put stuff out there.
Just because you 3 ladies keep writing balls doesn't mean balls is going in the thing. Oh, and Ian, sorry. You 3 ladies and Ian, sorry. I didn't say but kidneys are gone. There you go.
Okay.
Ian is a lady though. Yeah, that's true. There's that. All right. Next category is celebs or celebrities.
Right. First one is 2 people, but they often come as one entity kind of thing, which is Alfie Boe and Michael Ball.
All right.
If they've got an album out or a single, they go on every single TV show going, and I find them so cheesy.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be like the best of mates, but sometimes I feel like they're not. It's just an act. That the record companies put them together and they've got to act like they're the best of buds. And they just make me cringe. So fast forward often happens when they come on any show.
I don't really know Alfie Boe that well, but the bits that are. But Michael Ball, he is cheese, isn't he? He should have stopped it years ago. like, from what I remember.
And I don't think either of them are particularly good singers. Sorry if anyone's fans of them, but I can't stand either of them. Maybe Alfie Boe on his own.
Yeah.
If he's talking, because I think he is a Geordie, isn't he?
I don't know.
I have a feeling he is.
Might be.
From up north somewhere. But yeah, Michael Ball. Can't stand him.
Yeah, he definitely should have gave up a while ago. Shot in the hair.
Sorry, Nia.
All right. So who's your next one?
Okay. Anyone from George Shore. You can stick them all in the bin, because I think they are a bunch of losers that are so thick it's unreal, and they give Geordies a bad name.
Yeah.
Because everyone assumes that if you're a Geordie, you're a drinker. I mean, Darren hardly drinks at all. But it's just, that's what people think, that all Geordies are like people from Geordie Shore, and they're not. Okay, there is some girls that love their fake tan and their lashes and all that, and their fish lips. But not as many as you'd think.
No.
So,
but then
the program.
I used to watch it at first, like
I did.
But it just got boring, and plus it's like Towie or whichever ones, these scripts to them, they're not completely, you know what I mean. I hope your dad's okay, Sylvia. They're not what's the word, like, you know,
scripted. It's scripted.
Yeah, scripted. Excuse me, Susan, I do not get proper drunk, and I'm not a Geordie. Well, after I get proper drunk, I'm just not a Geordie. But I don't get on the telly and flash me minjos, not saying that's what they do, but they probably do. They probably have at one point.
I think they flash their boobs a lot, don't they?
Yeah.
I
agree with you in the sense that they give a fake sort of view, and if someone's watching that and think it's real, it's not completely real. You know what I mean? There's a lot to it, and I think a lot of them are they're spoiling themselves, and then they always end up doing what's that? They do like them stupid diet things that I hate, or they're like juice products or whatever. That it's all bollocks, but they do them because they're getting paid for it. And it's
on Instagram advertising.
Yeah. And I think one of them was
and they end up all looking the same. I can't tell them apart. The women, they all look the same. They must all go and see the same person that injects them. I just
no worries, Ashley.
They're not really celebs, but they are to some people, so that's why I put them in that category. But
yeah, Susan, you need to get over the fact that I did that. It was a long time ago, and I was young. Right. Anyway, which one was last? Which one is last? Not which one was last. That makes sense.
My last one is in the same vein, and that is Gemma Collins.
Oh, the GC
is a vile, vile human being. There is nothing redeeming about that woman. She is awful, and I thought I'd give her one last chance. So I watched a program that's on. Is it on Dave? Called Unforgivable. Don't know if anyone's watched it. Mel Gedridge.
Oh, I like her.
Yeah. She's got a show where people talk about stuff they've done, naughty stuff they've done, and whoever gets the lowest score is the winner. She gives people minus points if it's really bad.
Yeah.
And she won, of course, because she's just horrible. And she said something right at the beginning, which wasn't even in a category yet. It just came up, is the fact that she never wears the same pair of knickers twice. So she wears a pair of knickers once and then throws them away. And
you want to be going to the doctor's, love, if you need to do that. I mean, you know.
I just think she's just horrible. And I think a lot of stuff she does just to create drama.
I agree with that. But then she's come from a show that does that, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Towie.
But she's just horrible. She's just a horrible, nasty person who hasn't, I don't think, has got a good bone in her body. And then she goes on all different shows talking about this, that, and the other, and it's all a load of rubbish. And
yeah,
why people give her airtime. Basically, go and get a life, woman.
I find bits of her funny, I have to say. Like, what is it where she was get like about a hair thing, and she was get like, "Me hair's frizzled, Daryl," and it was get a clancy accent, can you tell? But like, I don't know, but I think that like she puts on this sort of like, it's like a bravado. It's like a.
That's what she says.
Do you know what I mean?
That's what she says, but I think she says that. I think she says that to try and say, "Oh, it's not the real me," so she can get away with it. I don't think that is.
Maybe.
I think that's her. I just think she's a horrible person.
What do I do? What do I do?
Yes, we are literally talking about.
Yeah. From Leonie's impersonation, I don't like her. You've not heard Nick's impersonation. He's much better at it. He's literally better at it.
One of my choices was going to be Andrea's choice from last week, but I had to change it to Bow and Ball because Andrea nicked one of mine, which was I've forgotten his name. I hate him so much. The New Zealand guy that was on Lorraine as the
Dan what's his face?
Dan Wootton. Yeah. He was.
All right. I'm going to do something a little bit different here. Okay, I'm going to put in Gemma Collins, the whole of Geordie Shore, and Michael Ball, but I'm going to keep out Alfie Bull, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to save half of your first choice.
Okay.
I don't want the other half because he's past it. He's had his day, you know, get rid of it. And plus, the chat wanted to put a ball in earlier. Now they get to it. You know what I mean? Kind of works out, doesn't it? So, people of the chat, if you want to banish Michael Ball, type Ball. If you want to banish the whole of Geordie Shore, type Shore. And if you want to banish Gemma Collins, type Collins. Choice is yours. Yeah, Leonie's rules. I think we've got your choice there, Neil. Just a few.
I think Michael Ball hasn't helped Alfie Bow's career. I think Alfie Bow carried on his own.
No, he did some bits with Jason Manford, didn't he? Because I quite like Jason Manford. I'm sure I've seen Alfie Ball with him before. They'll put in Collins Shaw Ball. Collins Shaw Ball. Hi, Lisa. All of them. You can't choose all of them, people. Aware. I think it looks like it's going to be Collins, doesn't it? That's
please let it be her.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, Gemma Collins. Goodbye, Gemma. All right. Doing well so far, aren't you? Getting some getting rid of some decent. Really good if we could really do it. And it just like instantly disappeared and landed in some other world that wasn't ours. Didn't bother us anymore.
Thing is, I think in this world you need a bit of light and shade, otherwise you don't see the light.
True. So if everything was like perfect, it would be, too good, wouldn't it? And then you'd just be bored, I suppose. Gemma lives in Ipswich. I was like, do you want to just get rid of them both in the one go? Right. Next one is things people do.
Right, this one I had an absolute field day with. So if if you saw my Tuesday tea break earlier, I listed all the other stuff that didn't make it into the top 3. But I've realised I have a big problem with things other people do. So my first one is people on the bus or the train that ring someone on the phone and say, "Oh, hi, I'm just on the bus now. I'll be there in 10 minutes." And then they proceed to have a long conversation with them that I don't want to hear about things they could talk to them about in 10 minutes when they see them. Why can you not just text the person and say, "I'm on the bus, I'll see you in 10," and you don't have to speak and tell the whole bus what's going on in your life, Tracy?
Yeah, Tracy. Whoever you are. Tracy, if you're in the chat, make yourself known. And the Tracy's a get like, oh, I don't even know if he's a Tracy, but yeah.
Yeah. That really irritates me.
I do that a bit sometimes. I'll be like, I'll phone my sister and be like, well, yeah, I'm on the bus, all right. And then I just bumped into such and such, you know what I mean? And I'm like, sure, all right, I'll tell you when you get here. Even though I've just told her. But yeah, a bit like that, I have to say. Right. And then your next one?
People who sniff constantly and don't blow their nose. I have literally handed people tissues. Literally. So I can't literally. But I've handed people tissues, strangers, perfect strangers who I don't know, because their sniffing is driving me crazy. And then they say, "Oh, thank you," and take the tissue off me, obviously. But that probably comes across as rude, but I'm sorry, but I'm sick of listening to you sniff.
I've just wrote sniffers, which could mean a lot of things, but we won't go there. Yeah, I get that, but like, if it's like an allergy or something, would a tissue actually help?
It's just people that don't have tissues. Don't just carry some tissues, for crying out loud. I carry tissues in my bag. Carry tissues.
Yeah, I usually have. I mean, to be honest, I don't really take a bag now because I just use the sides of the sling on my wheelchair thing. So I just shove everything down sides. But yeah, it is annoying if you're sitting there and someone's constantly going like that, and you're like, oh, for God's sakes, man.
Yeah. It's usually, to be fair, it's usually like young blokes that I hand tissues to, which I suppose they're not like organised and carry tissues with them like a handy pocket-sized pack, but like I do. But
Karin would end up killing me. Sniff central here. Yeah, well, you've got allergies, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got allergies, and
you've got athletes, haven't you? But that's not the same either.
You do blow your nose, Nick.
Right. Okay. And the last one.
Snoring. I have very, very personal experience with snoring. In fact, he's snoring right now in the next room. Darren is such a loud snorer that when we were first together and he used to stay at my mum and dad's house, my parents used to complain about his snoring. And there was like a couple of rooms in between. I'm sure the neighbours can hear him snore because it is so loud. And some nights, if I'm not asleep, because normally I'm pretty lucky, I go to sleep as soon as my head hits the pillow. But if I'm having trouble sleeping, I have to put the earplugs in because I'll just lay there and listen to him snore.
Yeah,
because it's so loud.
Yeah, it is definitely annoying when you have to put up with it. I don't snore like I used to, but when I was bigger, obviously I did snore a lot louder than I do now, and at least the kids don't say that I do. So, but before I used to, and I could like inhale a house. I think. Well, it was that bad, and then I would wake myself up. Does he do that? Does he get up and then go
all the time?
Like it's someone else's fault.
And sometimes I have stereo snoring because I'll have Darren at one side and Monty snores as well. So I'll have stereo. One snores, the other snores. One snores, the other. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could banish snore, it would be good, because then all the people who did snore just wouldn't snore anymore, and that would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Sometimes I just want to throttle him, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I do elbow him. I do that, you know, I just to stop him snoring just for a couple of minutes, because it just drives me that mental.
Right. What do I do? I understand that, yeah, people who are on a train or whatever and say, oh, I'm on the train, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Like you said, that could just be done by a text, and it's not necessary, especially in a small, compact space.
Yeah.
If I'm in a small, compact space, I do just message. I wouldn't ring. You know what I mean? But I do sometimes. If I was in the open and I was walking down, well, not walking, obviously, I was wheeling down, and yeah,
you'd be rolling.
rolling. Yeah, if I was rolling down, then and I was like round the corner, like, oh, you know, I'll just see it, whatever. But like, yeah.
Let me see. Let me see. I'm sure I have a recording of him on.
You got a recording of him?
I'm sure I have. Bear with me 2 ticks, and I'll see if I can get it. Where'd you? There. Oh, not there. I don't think Darren's ever going to watch this, so it's fine.
Your poor brother, Andy. Punching his brother for snoring in the night.
Right, hang on, I'll turn it up. Oh, go on, it does a really loud one. Oh, it's not loud enough.
No, it's coming through pretty loud to me.
It's really loud. Well, there, did you hear that?
Yeah, it's really frustrating when you're next to that.
Yeah.
It's tough that you pick your lolling because you've got a recording. That's because you do that though, don't you? You're like, look what you were like. Look.
Yeah.
Right. Julie says it sounds like a monster. Bless him.
And the amount of times he falls asleep when we're watching TV and he's snoring, and I go, Darren, and he's like, what? And I'm like, you were snoring. No, I wasn't. Yes, you were. You were snoring. That's why I'm telling you, you were snoring. I don't lie.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that now. Being single definitely doesn't seem so bad now. All right. So, yeah, as I said about the thing, that the train thing or whatever, if it's like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, you can literally send a message and speak when you're there, especially if you're in a confined space like that.
Mm-hmm.
Whilst people, you know, can't help snoring, it is freaking annoying. Even from someone who snores. I don't know if I do still snore, but yeah.
Oh, he's just done a massive one there. I wish you could have heard that. He just went.
Yeah. And sniffers. I have a but with this one, which is what usually makes me say a bit, and that is people with allergies and stuff like that. It can't necessarily help it, and even a tissue wouldn't help that. So, especially when it's such a constant thing.
In my defence, the people I've given tissues to is the people where you can literally see the snot and they keep sniffing it up. Yeah. And I've been like, oh, tissue, you need a tissue.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm going to save the sniffers just for that bit. Although I know you're saying about the ones with the snot. Sometimes we just forget, don't we, with our tissue. When you're being helpful giving them one, I don't think it's...
I'm trying to be helpful.
Yeah. So, people of the chat, do you want to banish snoring or people who ring someone on a train when they've got 10 minutes of their journey to tell them they've got 10 minutes of journey and then start talking about their life story? So, you can either put story or snoring. I think everyone's going to pick snoring, aren't they? You know what I mean? Because it's annoying, isn't it? So
it serves no purpose except for to irritate people.
Yeah, exactly. So therefore, yeah, I think.
I wish Darren was more like Shelley. You know Shelley. Shelster Rooney.
Yeah.
We shared a room first Hitchin meetup, and she sleeps like the dead. I literally got worried that she'd stop breathing because she's so quiet. It was lovely.
Yeah, I know, but Ian, we're not banning people who snore. We're just banning snoring, so that means you wouldn't snore anymore.
Yeah.
So, do you want to change your mind? You think the purpose of snoring is that people are trying to breathe? Yes, but you can breathe without snoring. If I still snore, which I don't know if I do, but if I do, I wish I didn't. So I'd rather just banish snoring.
It means they've got a funky tongue.
It'd be good if snoring had a purpose. What, like powered the world or something? While you were doing it or something. Yeah. Okay then. Created some sort of superpower to power your utilities or whatever, then yeah, you can snore all night. Right, let's have a look. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think it's snoring, but I'll just go down and check the stories because there was a few in a row. Yeah. Snoring.
Yeah, Darren has got sleep apnea, definitely. He stops breathing, but he won't go and get it sorted. He did go to the doctors once and they gave him a book on how to sleep, which is just so wrong.
I'm just annoyed that Lainey saved the sniffing because that's the worst one. Yeah, but then they're just trying to stop you from seeing their snot. So, you know, that's my thing. Yeah, it's actually part of a condition I have called sleep apnea. Karin, get Darren checked. Yeah, I've got sleep apnea. Not that I use my machine like. Well, I do. I've got oxygen machine, but I don't use that either. Anyway, that's a different story. Moving on. Creatures.
Okay, the first one is, I know they can be beautiful, but for some reason they really like dive bombing my head, and that is very large moths.
Oh God.
They really scare me when, for some reason, if we're in a room and one gets in, like if so we're in the kitchen, one gets in, they all seem to dive bomb my head. Why my head? I don't know, but that's what happens. And I end up like on the floor going, ah! So.
Oh, moths is the same. I'm terrified of moths. Big, hairy, furry ones. It makes me freaky. And one came in my room, and so I started screaming because it was flying about everywhere, and it was like hitting the light and then flying, like you said, comes right beside your head and whatever. And then so Laura come and stood in the doorway and seen it, and she's worse than me. She's absolutely petrified. So she was like avoiding it. And now David wasn't in at the time. Oh no, one day David was in, right? So he thought, he came in, saw it, and turned me like off and laughed his head off, which like just made me worse, right? And then the other time, David wasn't in, so she was freaking out and was standing in the passage with water and a tub of salt. I don't know what she was going to do, sort of sanitize me or something, or baptize me or something, I don't know what. And this thing was like going all over, and Jasper tends to eat them anyway, as he does flies.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it landed on my head, and I was just screaming and freezing at the same time. So I was like, proper freaking out. And Laura was probably freaking out whilst not being able to come near us to do anything, but she was trying to point it to the dog. And Jasper, he saw it, and then he literally pulled it out of her hair carefully like that and ran off.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Jasper bit you in the head.
No. He pulled it out of my hair and like just ran off with it, and then played with it in the sitting room till it wasn't able to play anymore. He barks at them to play barks at them.
Some people are not helping me in the side chat. Someone said the moths go for the juice in your eyes, and then someone else said moths make nests in your ears and have 200 babies. Stop it!
Stop it, pal. That's not funny.
I don't like moths. I know they can be pretty, but they always fly into my head.
They're just so like, they're like back off the light and then end up like all over the place, not knowing where they're going. It's like, just stay outside. You can stay outside. Stop being attracted to my light. Stop coming in because I've got light. You know what I mean? As long as I just didn't need to come in, I'd be fine. What do you mean David cracks you up? It's not funny, I have to put up with this.
I don't know how you do, Lainey, honestly.
Honestly, he's such he thinks he's hilarious, but
he's a big kid.
He is. And he thinks he's funny. But he isn't.
Oh, shut up, Jilly.
Yeah, he's lovely, Lisa. He truly is. Mind, he forgets sometimes, and he comes to the if he wants to go out, so he'll go out the back door, and then and it's like chucking the rain. He's like, nah, I'm not going out there. So then he'll come to the other door, like to see if it's not raining there. Like, just but it's still raining. But yeah, Daddy Longlegs to see him. Yeah, you can get like carpet moths, can't you? Joe and my friend had them, and the larvae infested the carpets and shit. They ate it, a carpet away. It was turning the light out, but then I don't know where it is, Kath. That's freaky. Imagine waking up to a camel spider on your kit bag in a tent in Iraq. Give me a moth any day. Is it the size of camels? If it isn't, then I'm not scared. And you're just being a wuss. I don't know what size a camel spider is, but it doesn't sound very nice. All right, anyway, what's your second one?
Those stupid little fruit flies.
Fruit flies.
We didn't have much of a problem with them when we lived on the first floor. Now we live on the ground floor. In the summer, we just have squillions of them, and they love bananas. I do have a cover for my bananas, but they just all sit on the banana cover, waiting to get into the bananas. And I like ripe bananas, so which is what they like, and they just get everywhere. And then if you try and kill them, like splat them, the dog gets all excited and he wants in on it, and he starts jumping up everywhere and barking because he wants to kill the flies. They're just a pain.
Right, I agree. So what's your last choice?
My last one is ticks, because Darren nearly died thanks to a tick. He got bitten by a tick on the ankle, and the infection went up his leg and rested in his groin, and he ended up with a huge abscess in his groin. And by the time he went to the doctors, he was very, very ill because he thought it would go away, and it didn't. And he had to have quite a major operation, and he nearly died, basically. And he got Lyme's disease from that, and that still affects him now, 20 years later. So, ticks, definitely.
Jasper's had two, because obviously he runs in the long fields up the top, and so he's come in twice with them. So we've had to like twist them out because they stick in like something not right. You know what I mean? And you've got to make sure you get the head so it doesn't cause any issue.
We bought a tick remover for Monty, but obviously it's really hard to spot them on him because he's got a black.
Yeah, well, ours was just, it was because he must have had it a little while. It was stroking him that felt it, you know, and you know, yeah. Right. I'm not going to save any of them because ticks are just horrible, creepy, like, and they're like, I mean, I know there's reason for all creatures, the circle of life and all of that, but fruit flies are annoying, yeah, I agree. Ticks are just weird things that suck your blood, and moths freak me out just because they do. So, and especially the big hairy ones.
Yeah.
And I know you can get some beautiful ones, and I know they have got purpose, as does everything. But yeah, so people of the chat, if you want to banish moths, type moths. If you want to banish ticks, type ticks. And if you want to banish fruit flies, type fruit. Could have said flies, couldn't I? But actually, it's like banish them all. You put all your fruit in the fridge.
I do. Bananas go funny if you put them in the fridge. I keep all the other fruit in the fridge.
Just sent us a picture of the camel spider.
Oh, is it horrible?
I don't know if I want to look.
I'm not a fan of spiders, but I know they have a purpose, so that's why I didn't.
How big is that in comparison?
Oh God, that is horrible.
Yeah. That looks like the size of the palm of my hand. If that is the case, then... Oh, look there.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm still scared of moths though, because it just... if they can fly, then that would make it worse.
I think you're going to have to count because I think it's quite even.
Right, let's have a look.
Fruit flies.
All right, so 1 for moths. 2. Right, hardly any for moths, so I'll go back. 1 for flies. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, 7 for flies, and I think it's going to be ticks, but I'll just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, ticks. Ticks is gone.
Good.
Okay. So, ticks. All right. Last one. Last category. Last round. I think that was the game show or something. Last category is random. So basically anything you can choose, you can think of, you can put in this one.
Okay, my first one is rolling news channels.
Right.
I don't know why they exist. We have the internet. Stuff gets put on the news section of your phone all the time. I just don't think they serve any purpose except for to stress you out. And for some reason, whenever I go for a hospital appointment, that's what they have on the television in the waiting room.
Yeah.
And it really irritates me. I literally like a 5-minute bulletin if I want to know what's going on. But I don't do that very often, watch the news, because it does depress me, especially at the moment. So I just don't see the point in those channels.
Yeah. My brother used to live in Nambia, and he came home one day to find a spider the size of a dinner plate on his front door. a whack with a shovel lately, he realised it was only a bird-eating spider. Okay, rolling news channels again. I'm kind of with you. I don't see the point of it. I suppose that means that anyone who it wouldn't even count really for that these days, because like before, if you didn't catch the 6 o'clock news or the 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it was 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock, and then 10 o'clock, wasn't it? Something like that. Mm-hmm. If you didn't catch that, then you would just have to look out and see facts or whatever, or get a newspaper. But like nowadays, you can watch those on catch up, can't you? You don't even need the 24-hour sort of option. And like you said, in
Sky News has a has a web page, and BBC News has a web page, and
all do, don't they? All the newspapers have web pages now. And if you want to know anything, you just gotta look on Twitter or Facebook, don't you? And you find it out first, usually, anyway. Especially anything worth knowing. So yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. I don't see the point of them. It's just repetitive, and if so, I think it's worrying for someone who might, especially like when COVID was first happening, or whatever.
You get obsessed.
Yeah, people could get obsessed watching it. Yeah,
I did. I used to have it on all the time. When the pandemic first started, I literally had, and Darren had to say to me, "Look, you've got to stop this because you're just stressing yourself out."
Yeah.
So I would literally just watch it all day, have it on in the background all day.
Right, I understand that. Okay, next one.
Women with fish lips. Please, men, tell me, do you find that attractive? Because I think it's hideous.
You feel like that? I can't even do it. You mean like when they've had injections and it's all thingy?
They get their top and their bottom lip done, and they just end up with a baboon's arse on their face.
It's more like duck lips then.
Yeah.
We'll call duck lips.
Yeah. Duck lips, yeah.
Trout pout, as someone else said.
Well, I keep saying literally sorry. Do you know why it is? It's because I've been talking to my sister, and it rubs off on me because she says literally all the time. And because she lives in Essex now, and her husband's from Essex, and she's picked up that little literally twang, and I get it off her. I've caught it off her because I've been talking to her.
So, are we talking just any type of filler type thing, or we're talking people who overdo them to the point that they're obviously overdone and you can tell?
If you have a little bit, I think you can't tell.
Yeah, it looks
nice.
natural.
It's when they have so much that it just looks
stupid.
Like
they actually want them to look like that.
Yes.
So that you can tell.
That's another Geordie Shore thing. All the women on Geordie Shore have got the stupid lips.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know who they're doing it for, because they're not doing it for men, because I don't think men.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get like why you'd want it to look like that. It's like having, I mean, I can understand a woman who didn't have any boobs wanting boobs, right? I can understand that. But then to want them to be like walking in a room an hour before you, like, I don't get that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously I've never not had boobs, so I suppose I can't understand, but I still can't work out the logic of why you would want them to look so unnaturally.
Yeah. And you know what else? Because they have so much stuff put in, they're stuck in that cycle, because if they let it go down, they end up with like baggy lips.
Yeah.
They have to keep getting it done, otherwise their lips look horrible.
Yeah.
So it's just like stupid.
Right, I'm going to put it down as the trout pouch, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and the last one?
And my final one, it just had to be, because it's something I have to live with every day, and that is, why in this day and age, with all the technology we got, do I have to have up to 6 injections a day? Why can't something be invented so that I can have my insulin some other way and I don't have to inject it? I know that's quite a personal thing, but it is the bane of my life. I hate it. I have to do it, but I hate it.
Right. Okay. Repent doesn't want to work. I've got another one. All right. I know that, like, my friend's daughter, she has issues with insulin and stuff. She's got a machine that's inside of her, alerts her, but then I think she still has to inject her herself, type of thing.
She must have a continuous glucose monitoring system.
Yeah.
Which there's pros and cons to that. I have thought about it. I might get one. I don't know, but it's like a needle that's permanently in your arm and it tells you what blood sugar is. So you don't have to keep pricking your finger. I haven't got a problem pricking my finger. I'm used to it. The feeling in the ends of my fingers is literally gone. So, literally gone. Oh, damn you, Melanie. So, yeah, the finger pricking doesn't annoy me. It's the injections that annoy me.
Oh, so it's a pump. People are saying in the chat.
Yeah,
my friend has one of those, and then it alerts her like whatever time, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
An insulin pump pumps insulin into you, so you don't have to do the injections.
Right.
So
would that not
have injections?
I don't know.
Right.
She's only 5. But literally, I'm doing it now. She's had a couple of like really serious sort of issues with her blood sugars and stuff, like where she's almost gone comatose type of thing.
Keto.
Yeah. She's had issues like that, so she's been in hospital. And I know that they fitted this pump thing in order to help her, so that she could easily be given insulin if
she's got an insulin pump. Then
yeah.
They often give them to children now as well because it just makes their life easier.
Yeah, because giving them injections is probably harder. So are you able to get that? Would that save you having?
It has been discussed before, but I don't like the idea of having some kind of machinery fitted to me all the time. So I just want them to invent some kind of, I don't know, air system or tablet or
would be easier, wouldn't it?
Or invent an artificial pancreas that actually works, or I don't know. Just this day.
So what part of this are we wanting to banish? Because this is a bit I'm trying to struggle with. So, but we can only banish them if they invent something to replace them, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Or, as Lisa said, you could just put diabetes in the banishment.
Yeah, true.
That would be better.
I have type 1 diabetes, and there's no rhyme or reason for it. It doesn't run in my family. They think it's from when I was ill when I was a teenager, and my immune system worked overtime and killed my pancreas. But yeah.
Right. Although, I mean, obviously, it would be great if you could just put diabetes. I suppose it's not a possibility really, but what would be good is if you could get something that, like you said, that you could take or do, that would mean just once a day, even if it's like once on a morning, you've got to do 1 injection, and then that covers you for the whole 24 hours or something. That wouldn't be so bad, would it, rather than 6 a day?
When I was first diabetic, my pancreas still worked a bit, and I used to have 1 background injection a day that you just had every 24 hours, and then I just used to have to inject every meal I had. But that only works for so long, and then you have to go on this other insulin, which only works for 12 hours. So I have 2 injections when I get up in the morning. So 1 background and then 1 for my breakfast, and plus corrective insulin if I need it. Then if I have lunch, I have to have an injection for lunch. If I have tea, I have an injection for tea. And then before I go to bed, I have to have another background injection, and then possibly corrective if my blood sugar is slightly high. So that can be up to 6 injections.
I can imagine that must be really frustrating to have to continually do that. And then obviously finding places to inject yourself with and missing capillary veins, which then can cause issues.
Yeah. I've got a section of my tummy that I've injected so much. Often I'll stick the needle in and the insulin won't go in because it's just gone hard.
Yeah.
So I have to avoid that area and try and do somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to save anything again because there's just nothing to save. I will leave it to the chat again. So, people, do you want to banish the 24-hour news channels because we don't need them? We've got enough other ways of finding out the news. Do you want to banish the trout pout? So everyone who has a trout pout, or do you want to banish injections as long as there's some other way that you can be given whatever it is you need through that injection in a different way, but an easier way? We don't want anything harder, we want easier. But like just one tablet on a morning, or something like that would be much easier. Right, trout pout. Oh, the injections are annoying. They do save lives. Yeah, and they have the injections and they don't need them, which is mental, really, when you think about it. It's
why anyone would want to inject themselves when they don't need to.
Yeah. I'm just.
Newsreaders with trout pouts.
Yeah. Right. I'm thinking it's. Wait a minute. Just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Trout pouts then. Trout pouts it is. You can no longer get your pout to look like a trout. Yeah. Something like that anyway. I mean, even my daughter, my daughter's got naturally full of lips. And the thing with us is we tend to have a bigger bottom lip than top. But hers isn't even as thin as mine on the top as the bottom. But she wants to get a little bit of filler in there to bring up the sides. And I'm like, no. It's like, you don't need it. And my niece is the same. And I'm like, no, I swear, just like, if you're going to do that, disowned.
Thank you, Susan. Susan's just linking for my my cancer research, walk all over cancer challenge that we're doing all this time.
Yeah. If anyone doesn't know, they came in late. Karin's fundraising for cancer research by doing the walk all over cancer, which means she has to do 10,000 steps a day for the whole of this month, for the whole of March. Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah, for the whole of March. And considering that Karin usually only does 5,000 to 6,000 a day, roughly.
Yeah.
Which is, it's a big intake. Yes, a day, Susan.
A day.
Yeah.
A day.
So if you can donate, please do. And Susan's just put the link in there. And yeah, that was brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope my choices were good. I was really worried that my choices were lame.
I mean, I know that you're going to get a lot of people's trout pouts and various things sent to you, I've no doubt, because you know what these are like. People saying sort of to you. Do you sort of? You know what I mean? Or whatever. But it's all good fun. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I am back again at 9:30. Have you got anything coming up in the next? Anything on YouTube coming up?
Not any. I'm going to do a vlog a weekly vlog over the March. Showing how I'm getting on. And obviously Tuesday tea break every Tuesday at 2:30. just have a chat about whatever. And
Yeah.
today I done a 5-minute workout at the end of it.
If you aren't subscribed, which I'm sure you're all out, but if you aren't, I have put Karin's channel link down there in the bottom. So please go and subscribe. And yeah, I watched you. I was there with you, and I was moving my toes and that, but I was watching you do it, and I was just like, yeah, I do the toes bit. I'm starting to do this, but yeah, it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Well done, Karin.
Yeah,
who you're talking about.
yeah,
that's not me.
that's you're gonna get a lot of Karin conversation, I reckon. But yeah, I will be back at 9:30 to do Trivia Tuesday. Yeah, the kazoos are back, unfortunately, for the people who don't love them. And I will be back doing another Banish bin next week. However, Banish bin next week will be at 9:30, and it will be Neil, who is Channel Nem. So yeah, that should be fun. But thank you very much, and I'll let you I'll let the people go, and I'll say goodbye to you after. So goodbye, everybody. We will